hi, good morning, welcome. I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and welcome to the corner of my internet why not? Where I talk about knitting and life and stuff. So, a few days ago now, was my birthday. I've tried to record this a few times and hopefully now we've got it. So I would like to show you some of the cool yarny related things that I got. Before I do, I would like to pay my respects to the Indigenous people on the land on which I stand, the Whadjuk people, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Let's get started! So, first up, I got a gift. I got a gift early, and this is from one of my students. Now, her name is Chloe. She's given me permission to share her name. And before I kind of show you what she gave me, I want to talk about the importance of what she gave me. So, starts with me, always. When I was in high school, I had a really tough time, and there was a few days where I didn't know if I would make it to the next day, to put it not very bluntly, but subtly enough. I really struggled, and some of my teachers were the people who literally got me through. So I remember thinking, life isn't worth continuing or whatever, and now I know that's not true, first of all, but also there was times where I literally was like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow because I've got Mrs. Barron and Hass, or I've got Mr. Hind and music, or I've got a sneeze. So I had a really, really, really tough time in high school for my own mental health. And so when I became a teacher, I really wanted to focus on making my class a safe space and enabling students to feel comfortable in my space and like they belonged and like they were worth something. So that's something that I take really seriously. Chloe shares a similar past in that way, and I'm really privileged that I became a teacher that she feels really comfortable with, and that I'm one of those people that she can reach out to when she's struggling, and that she lets me speak into her life. So I take this honour with a lot of gravitas and a lot of depth and responsibility, and I'm so grateful for it. But that's kind of the backstory between Chloe and I, and how amazing she is and how much I feel connected in a lot of ways to her. So, to begin with, she gave me some scrunchies. These are crocheted. They are like a red velvet. I won't zoom in on these ones, but they are incredible. They feel so amazing. And as soon as I got it, I pretty much just put one on my wrist because I know the symbolism and the meaning behind this, and it's just super important to me, and I wanted to wear it with me. So these now live just up here on my bedside table, and they are something that keeps me really happy every day. The second yarn related thing that Chloe got me was this. So this is a yarn little set from Megan of Rainbows and Sprinkles, and I'm so grateful to you, Megan. If you watch this, thank you so much. You went over and above. So this colorway is called Spring Flair, and it has these really beautiful neon speckles all the way through it. And then Megan added in these 3 little minis, just randomly, just a surprise. So these is 100 grams of 85% merino, 15% nylon, and it's probably 400 meters. And the colorway is Spring Flair. I think I've said that. And if you read the label, it says, "You are the light in my life," which is really important and something that's like a theme that Chloe and I have. So this is really important to me, and thank you so much, Megan. You went over and above. And Chloe, my girl, I read that letter again. I cried again. Thank you so much. So this was my first present. I'm going to try and zoom in and show you what it looked like. So there you go. You can see the beautiful sprinkles. "You are the light in my life" is on the band. And it's stunning. Thank you so much. Okay. So the second yarny related gift I bought myself, and it is in this bag by Ash and Eve Designs. So this is her Woodland something bag, and I love it. I love the print. I just think it is so beautiful. On the inside is pink polka dots, and it makes me so happy. So I spoke about this before, about my plan for it. I knit the Seafield sweater. I did a test knit for JST Designs, or Jennifer. And she, yeah, it was amazing, and it'll come up again a little bit later. So I had a skein and a bit left. So this is of the DK. Let me just wind it up a little bit nicer. This is the DK that is left. This is in her Ash and Eve Designs Luxury DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. And it is DK, and it's in the colourway An Autumn Clay. And then I have this much of the mohair silk left, which isn't very much at all, and this is also in An Autumn Clay. And I have one full skein left as well of the DK. I was saying before, I went to a concert and I saw this beautiful shawl, like wrap, that this lady was wearing, and it had stripes, and it was in, it had mohair in it. And I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna give that a go. I wanna see if I can do that. So I reached out to Susan of Ash and Eve Designs, and I could see that she had these two in her ready to sell, like in her stock, but she didn't have any mohair. And I know that dyeing up single skeins can be really difficult, and so I said to her, like, would you mind? And she was like, of course, that's fine. So she's dyed up these ones for me as well. So I have now is that 300 meters? Yes. 300 grams. I can English. 300 grams, and they are 225 meters per 100 grams. This is in An Autumn Clay. This is Pink Shale, and this is It's Tealy Autumn. And the three together, I just think are stunning, and with that mohair, they're going to be beautiful. And the best thing is, they match the bag. So this is my birthday present to myself, and I love them. I have a few things to cast on, and I'm actually waiting right now for mail. I'm looking out the window frantically, waiting for it. And yeah, so hopefully these will come very soon. And once I've finished off a couple of my projects, I can start on this one. But these are living in this bag because they can't be moved yet, because they're just so beautiful, and I can't wait to come and play with these. So these are my birthday present to myself. The third birthday present that I got was not to myself. This is from my friend Sarah. So Sarah is staying with me from Paris for a few days, and she went to a Parisian wool store, and she brought back a tote bag that says Lil Weasel, and they have a badge, badge, and this one says Born to Knit, Forced to Work, which definitely describes my life. And so Sarah went in and said, hey, my friend loves to knit, can I please have some French wool? And they were like, yep. So they did. They got 9 different colours. So I have this black, this khaki green, this navy blue, and then this sort of aquamarine blue. No, teal blue, that's the word I'm looking for. Gotcha. This one is aquamarine, or I would call it aquamarine. This one is this really delightful light green. No, okay. I won't try and stack them. Looking in the viewfinder to see what's going to happen, and it doesn't look good. I have this white. So these are kind of like more like the cool tone neutral colours. And then I also have red and pink. So this is Fonty in the BB Merinos. They are made in France, and they are 50 grams, 200 meters, so a fingering weight. They don't have colorway names. Like this one here is, what was it? 854. So they don't have colorway names, but they're really fun. And I have decided I'm probably going to make these into a cardigan with stripes or some sort of pattern. I kind of have a few ideas in my mind. I'm not entirely sure yet, but these are going to become a cardigan. I've got 1800 meters all up, and I'm hoping I will wear this when I go to Paris next year. So that is very exciting for me. And yes, that was my third birthday gift. So thank you so much, Sarah. And I love them. I can't wait. I don't know when I'll cast them on, but I'm very excited to do so. My fourth birthday present to myself. This is all the unrelated ones. I've got so many other things, but this is the unrelated ones. I actually went shopping on my birthday. So we went out for breakfast, Sarah, my mum and I, and we went and had pancakes at my favourite local cafe, which is amazing. And then I saw an event on Facebook come up, and it was the Perth Makers Market. And I was like, hell yeah, let's give that a go. That sounds great. So we decided to just go past, and I met a few people, and it was incredible. One of the stalls that I walked past was Dying to Knit. After completely embarrassing myself by getting her very mixed up with someone else, which I am still so embarrassed by, we figured it out, and then I ended up buying some yarn. So this first one is called Frozen. It is Silky Singles Fingering, and it is 70% superwash merino, 30% mulberry silk, 100 grams, about 400 meters. So this is the Frozen colorway, and I love it. It looks so beautiful, and it's silky next to skin soft. So I'm thinking this is going to become some sort of bralette or little mini crop. I am a bigger busted woman, and I'm more curvy and plus size, but I do really enjoy wearing something that's just like this, really like in the summer, something really simple and easy breezy. So I'm thinking this will become just like a bralette kind of thing. There's the one, I can't remember what it's called. Is it Nurture? And you knit it literally to your own measurements, and it looks amazing. And it looks like a proper bra cup almost. And I've been wanting to try that for a while. So this one is probably going to become that. When I was talking to Michelle of Dying to Knit, let me just make sure I get these names right. Oh, that's embarrassing. She was saying, oh, like this is the linen. And I was like, oh, it says silk. She's like, oh, it must be the silk then. So then I went looking for the linen, and I found these two. So this one is Early Spring, and this is Baby Blue Eyes. They are both 90% merino, superwash merino, 10% linen, and 100 grams, approximately 360 meters. And these two, I have decided, need to become some sort of striped top or camisole or tank, something summery and light, and with that linen and the superwash merino. So these two need to become some sort of crop or tank or summer singlet, and I think they need to be in stripes. With the superwash merino and linen, it's just going to get better and better over time, and so I'm really excited to wear these. I think they're going to be beautiful. So this is another, no idea when I'm going to cast it on, but I need to cast it on. This is more birthday presents to myself. Those are my birthday presents, and I know I'm doing acquisitions before whips, but that's okay. It's my birthday special. That's what I do. I do what I want. So now for my whips. I have gotten some massive progress done, and I'm pretty happy. I took some photos last night of where I'm up to. So I don't know, if this doesn't look good enough, I'll add them in, but it'll be fine, I think. This is the Chunky Souffle, which is knitted now for the second time. So it looks like this, and it comes up to about my natural waist. I think I'll have to put a picture in of where it comes up to. It is a little bit cropped, like a little bit too cropped for what I'm comfortable with. And I only have this skein left, and I'm holding it with 3 strands together. So there's not a lot of wiggle room. But I'm thinking I'm not going to make full sleeves. I mean, I can't make full sleeves. I'm just going to knit the sleeves until they're comfortable. I do need to put the ruffle on. So I've put the sleeve on, but I actually think I need to take the sleeve off and put the ruffle in first, just so I can see how it sits and how it hangs. And then I can be more comfortable sizing it for where the sleeves should fit. This is 3 strands of alpaca. What is this? Okay, so this is the knit crate back when I was getting knit crate. This one is Palm Springs, 50% alpaca wool, 25% Peruvian Highland / merino wool blend, and 25% Surrey alpaca. It is 230 meters over 100 grams and DK weight. This is the Vitellana Oasis by Knit Crate. So I do really like it. It is a little bit scratchy actually, so I might need to put it in with like some conditioner and just, not even wool wash, just proper conditioner and let it soften. I've done that before and it has worked before. Okay, this is a bit of a journey. I knit this to pretty much where it is, and then I didn't like it, so I ripped it out. And I had a big conundrum of where I'm going to rip it back to. So I basically figured out where the sleeves were. So the actual body was huge. I needed to have some side decreases just to make it fit my body a little bit better. Now I have 3 rows of ribbing at the bottom. I literally had 1. So I've made it a little bit longer. Like I've salvaged a bit more yarn. And the arms were like clown level huge. And so I wasn't a big fan of them. And I thought instead of ripping back the whole thing, because this neckline's actually quite tight and I do like the size 6 neckline that I started with, I put in markers for where I was happy with the sleeves. So it was up to about here. I put markers in on the sleeves where I was happy with how they fit on my shoulders. And then I continued following the body instructions and increasing. I started using the size 4 increases rather than the size 6 increases, but I did them not on the sleeves. So the sleeves, I felt really happy with where they already were. So basically, the beginning of the round in the middle of the back, and I would knit and do whatever I had to do, the increases up to the sleeve, and then I would ignore the sleeve, and then where the next stitch marker was for the front side of the body, I would continue knitting and doing whatever I needed to do for that. So this had mixed results. The first time I did it, like the first increase round, I think was, I don't know, like, so knit 5, increase 1, knit 5, increase 1. And that was fine because my stitches actually were in a number of 5, so it was totally fine. And so I could do the back and then skip the sleeves and then do the front and then skip the sleeves and do the rest of the back, and there was no issue. The second time I did it, however, because I hadn't increased over the sleeves, I had a odd stitch count. So the next time, I don't know, it was like increase 6 or whatever, knit 6, increase 1. And so I got halfway through the back and up to that first sleeve stitch marker, and then I had 4. So I was knit 4 and then the sleeve stitch marker. So then I just ignored it and remembered in my head that I've only knit 4, got up to the front of the sleeve, and then knit 2 after I slipped the sleeve indicator. I did 2 on the front and then I made 1 and then kept doing 6, make 1. So I kind of fudged them a little bit. It works fine for me. I have no issues with it. And I actually really like how it fits now. I just kept going. I was at dinner last night with my family, and so I just kept going and going and going. I did do some side decreases. Oh, I don't know if it's going to even show up. A little bit. I did do some side decreases. I only got 2 of them, and that was fine. It is very cropped. I will hopefully put up some pictures, or I should have put up some pictures of it. I do think I can probably finish this off today. So the next time you see me, I will have a proper finished object, which is very exciting. So I'm excited to get it done, excited to finish this off. This is going to be, I liked my own interpretation last time of an Australian thinks of Christmas in cold, and I think that's about it. So an Australian thinks of cold Christmas is going to be the theme of this chunky souffle jumper. This is the Chunky Souffle by Penrose Knits, and I've knit them before, so I do know about them, and I do really like it, which is why I've chosen to do it again. And use up some yarn, because I have a lot. My next project is this one here. This is called Jurmala, and this is a Latvian-inspired design, and I'm knitting it with Australian yarn, which I just find, I love that combination. And this is Fairy Bread as the main colour by Chloe of Woodland Whimsy, and Tickled Pink is the inside colour. So when I first did this, I started knitting it and I did the German short rows, which are my preferred short row method, and I hated it. They looked like trash. They looked so ugly. And I was like, no. And then I was thinking, I remember when I test knit the Seafield sweater by JST Designs, and I was like, you know what? I need to use those German short rows. They were super interesting, and they just stood out. They were just a little bit different, and they stood out as in, like, to me, they were, like, interesting, but they were fairly seamless in the body of the sweater. So I basically found out how she did them and then copied, and oh my goodness, it worked so well. So thank you so much, Jen, for teaching me new things. because they're now at the front. If you can see my little golden stitch markers, and they're at the front, and it just works really nicely. So the back is a little bit longer than the front, but not too much. I think it's 6 rows, which doesn't make too much of a difference. Although it's, you know, it's Aran weight, so I guess it does. And then on the sleeves, this is the interesting detail. So this is the raglan sleeve style that I have tried, and I don't think I did it very well before. So I'm kind of trying it again. Instead of having 4 points across your sleeves, where you increase in 4 points, I'm only increasing essentially in 1 point on each side of the sleeves. And I like the idea. It's like a dolman style look. I think it's really interesting. I don't know if it's going to work out. And it does involve having make one lefts and make one rights, which are not my favourite style of increase, but they are looking really good. So I'm a fan of it, but it does mean a bit of thinking, which I'm not always a fan of. So you can see how they're coming up this way, and you've got this centre stitch, or the centre seam almost. I did it really narrow before. Now I'm doing it quite thick and chunky, which I actually think works a lot better. And I think this is going to protect the shoulder seam a little bit, the shoulder detail a little bit better. So I'm excited for this. I think it looks really good. So those are 2 of my projects. I have a third. This one is kind of like my car knitting, when I'm tired of big chunky needles, I do something light and delicate for a second. This is the Mitred Squares. I am essentially learning how to do mitered squares, learning how to join and do modular knitting at the same time as redesigning a pattern that I found in a book. Because why not? So this is actually quite fun. I knit quite a bit of this while I was at the airport waiting for Sarah, and I'm really proud of it. I am definitely figuring out what to do and how to do it, and it's going to be super interesting even to me to see how this construction comes together, because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm excited for it, and this is really fun. These are using the 2021 Advent by Knit or Dye Oz, and I'm really, really, really enjoying how these colours are coming together, and the rest of the fade that I've got planned is looking amazing. So I'm really loving it. This is a awesome Advent knit. Hopefully we will see how we go. I actually did want to kind of question. I don't know what to do. So it is a paid for pattern because it's in a book, and I am essentially re-knitting it. So I do want to write up my notes of what I've done, but I also don't want to give away the instructions in the book. So I don't really know how I'm going to write up my notes and explain what I've done, because I feel like that's giving away too much detail. So yeah, not really sure. If you've got any suggestions, let me know, because I'm genuinely not very sure about what I'm going to do. Those are, that's nice. Those are my projects. The last thing I wanted to talk about is just my absolute gratitude. Wattle and Wool started when I went to Latvia. So I have been knitting since I was, 17, 18. I have loved knitting, but I didn't really take it seriously until a couple of years ago. I went to Latvia, which is where I am from, in 2018, and I was completely inspired and just wanted to make something that felt like home, and that uplifted women, and that celebrated the culture that I come from, and also helped me learn it, because as a Australian born Latvian, I'm quite removed from a lot of parts of my culture, and I don't really know them. So learning about them has been really beautiful. Yeah, learning about these things has been really beautiful, and connecting understanding to symbols that I've grown up seeing has also been quite wonderful. So this is my very first sweater. This is the Auseklis sweater, and this is my very first ever design. I designed it when I was in Latvia, and I love it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. And on my birthday, I sold my 27th copy. So this just, I'm so grateful. This means so much to me. This is how everything started. This is the catalyst for it. Also, can we just appreciate that I totally started designing with a full colorwork yoke sweater in like 9 different sizes. So I'm pretty damn proud of that. Like, that's amazing. It is a circular yoke. Basically, if you've knit the Birkin by Caitlin Hunter, Boyland Knitwear Designs, Boyland something. This is easy. Like this, it's basically very similar. And I know that because I was thinking of knitting the Birkin and then went, oh, I can totally make my own. And so I did. And so, yeah, so this is very similar. When I started reading the Birkin, I was like, wow, that's like, I've done a lot of the same stuff. So it was really interesting. A bit scary, but really interesting when I read it. This is the reason that Wattle and Wool started. This is the catalyst of everything. And this is a lot of where my connection has come from. So I wanted to say thank you. We're almost at 500 subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing. We're almost at 1,500 on Instagram, which is also amazing. It's just blowing my mind at how incredible and connected I feel to this community. So thank you so much. If you do like this and you're not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and like this video, comment down below and have a chat. I would love to extend the conversation further. And I've got a few things, like amazing things coming up, so you don't want to miss them. That said, I'm going to go now and finish off knitting my chunky souffle. I am going to go and fix the ruffle, and I will see you next time with some finished objects. Bye, happy knitting!